Gives me an immense pleasure to address this Rashtriya Gramin Vikas Sammelan at a defining moment in India's developmental journey. Today, under the visionary leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, rural India is witnessing a remarkable transformation. Roads are reaching remote habitations. Crores of houses are being replaced kacha dwellings. Women are becoming entrepreneurs. And youth are acquiring skills and employment. And I wanted to thank you all for being part of that greater vision and transformation. And Modi ji has a very clear vision, as my colleague has said, Viksit Bharat 2047. If India has to become a prosperous, developed nation, rural India must first become prosperous. You look at it today in my own constituency, we have a lot of 200 villages and we have a big city, Guntur. People are migrating to the cities because they don't have any space to live in cities and it is expensive. People go and live wherever there is a place, whether it is railway lands, occupying the ponds, and putting their livelihoods on the streets where traffic cannot move. I mean, these are the realities of urban migration. Therefore, rural population being 60 to 65% today, it is at most important to empower rural communities, develop sustainable livelihoods, and also resilient rural infrastructure. This is exactly what we have been trying to do over the last 2 years, especially with the recent VBG Ramji, or DDU GKY 2.0, or NRLM, so forth. For Manrega, if you look at it for many years, it was a rights-based wage employment during need. Though that objective remains important, many of those assets had limited economic potential at that time and returns. Convergence was not as much as we wanted, and over a period of time, aspirations of the rural India has changed. Therefore, this new framework, not only providing employment, but creating a productive assets and overall village development, whether you take it from bus shelters to cattle sheds, community halls to Anganwadi centers, drainage systems to solar lights, village roads to farm ponds, you name it, you can build 300 plus real rural infrastructure with our new VBG Ramji. Therefore, Manrega to VBG Ramji transformation from a creating work to creating wealth, temporary activity to permanent productivity, and isolated works to integrated village development is what we looked at it. And obviously, to provide for genuine people who really want to work, there is allocation of 125 days. By understanding the scarcity of the labor during the agriculture season, 60-day window was provided. And of course, many may find 40% state share being a challenge. But, embracing that challenge creates a lot of ownership, accountability, and transparency, and ultimately it will lead to productive, durable, and meaningful asset creation. So therefore, and I wanted to thank all the states who have created DBT Sparsh, SNA Sparsh, digital systems, and providing budgetary readiness for all the works, reflecting a strong collective commitment. And with this, in my own state, Andhra Pradesh, today, Manrega was able to give around 8,000 crores. With the 40% share, now we are able to get 13,000 crores worth of activities. This will really transform, provided if all of us work exactly what it intended to be. This requires extensive convergence, and still some regional wage variation is there. However, if you take this central government share of this 60% money, appropriately converge, and you can provide some top-up employment cost, even if needed, you can really get the real employees and execute these works. So therefore, I request to take complete advantage of this new VBG Ramji. And you take the housing. Obviously, Modi ji sanctioned 5 crore houses overall target. We have sanctioned 4 crores to the states, and almost 3 crore houses were constructed. And even in PMAY, there was quite a bit of transformation over the last 2 years. It used to be, survey used to be, fragmented. However, we brought in geotagging, complete end-to-end technology enabled. So there won't be any duplicate housing. At the same time, ensuring everyone who needs housing will be able to get it. And obviously, there are some challenges, lack of land from the states. And also ensuring, some states have requested me personally to mandatorily allocate some of the VBG Ramji into the housing. Even though it is an open one, that is something we will be discussing as well as part of these discussions. And this is where we need states' participation in the housing. Right now, we are doing housing as an individual entity for one family, one house. But there are a lot of people in villages, there are single parents, only 2 people. They may not need individual housing. Coming up with creative concepts like cluster housing, where multiple single people can live. And sometimes, states say whatever the union government is giving may not be sufficient. There are some states like Assam who have done shared walls, shared roof. There are creative ways with the convergence. If you develop those models, it will make our life easy to implement and to bring them into the policy. So this is where state participation, how much ever we have the willpower, we are not the executing body, and you are the executing body. That is where we need your help. You take PMGSY roads. Even at the road infrastructure, though we are giving around 20,000 crores and the roads are a rural state subject, this is again, there is a lot of innovation we are trying to get in roads as well. We are coming up with a project where we wanted to drive drone-based survey of the newly constructed roads, identify the width and length, and also the surface quality. Using the AI-generated analysis, you can identify the road quality. And then this can be done automated process. Every year, drones can go and do this survey and come up with this analysis and give you a quality scoring for that road. This can automate a contractor quality rating as well. So this is what we are doing a POC at this time. And hopefully, if that becomes successful, then there could be some accountability. And I also request, to embrace some of the new ideas. Because, these days, heavy weight, heavy axle loads are causing a lot of damages. The longevity is becoming a problem. So how can we ensure accountability of the contractors by themselves? Is there a mechanism we can do? If there is, for example, 1 crore road, can we keep 10-15%, 10 to 15 lakhs as an escrow account? And then once you get this quality scoring based on the drone, and after 5 years, you release that amount can stay in the bank, and it can accrue interest rates, and it automatically, based on the quality score, without us being involved, released to the contractor. I mean, these are the ways I believe the smartest people here should come up with and build the systems in such a way, whether you or me exist, it should run by itself and provide a path to Vikasit Bharat. And also ensuring there are some states that are actively testing the green technologies, whether using waste plastic, fly ash, FDR. These are all not being tested in every state and in every place. So ensuring those kind of newer technologies are included would be highly valuable. And then you talk about day NRLM. Even this, it has enormous potential. Obviously, we have done quite a bit, but there is a lot that can be done. In my own constituency, we used to run Saras Melas in Delhi only. We ran one Saras Mela in Guntur district, first time outside. They used to run small things. But when you bring outside states knowledge, culture, food, then it becomes a new experience for the local states people. And not only that, we took that event as an advantage. Right there, we put the marketing training, whatever they need, sales, finance, packaging, whatever the training that these Dwakra or self-help group women need, we provided that. It became a huge cultural event. My constituency has around 20 lakh people. Almost 13 to 14 lakh people visited that 10-day Mela. The reason it became so successful, we involved the political people, local college, university youth, influencers. So we created a maximum awareness for these self-help group women. And obviously every state can do 2 or 3. And if officers try to do it by yourself, you may not be 100% successful. But when you involve the political machinery, then it becomes a movement. So I hope you take this one district, one SSG product seriously. And building, we have eSaras online portal. Like these kind of linkages and awareness is extremely important for the actual ground implementation. And the last one is DDU-GKY. This also has gone. DDU-GKY 1 had its own problems. They were skill development people were taking money, first installment, not following up. And it was not that successful. Obviously, we went through a systematic review. We changed the structure in such a way, though it is a little bit strict in terms of SOPs, but it is actually doing what it is supposed to be. Again, I tested all these programs. I tested my own constituency, so I know what the real problems they are facing. I had a college of my own, and we are not running that, so I have given this nice college for DDU-GKY, around 130 people. The facility was so good, nice bathrooms, there is a safety involved. Though initially there were not many people interested in involving in that skill development, actually all 130 people, the total capacity got fulfilled. And then before we actually trained them, they had a placement in the local hospitals, nursing aides. They were given a 100-day training. All of them got placed in those. I have done so many programs over the last 2 years in my own constituency as a minister, but those 100 plus people getting the jobs, real jobs and transformation was the most satisfying of all the things. And not only because all these people, there is a huge dropout afterwards. So we ensure there is a motivational training. So why I am saying all of this is DDU-GKY, if you use, the problem is facilities, ensuring there are right quality entrepreneurs who really want to train people who already has jobs and then training them rather than wasting their time. This is the responsibility of the missionary. And then taking on that inspiration, what I have done, the main thing is the facility. So we reached out to all the local engineering colleges where they are not optimally utilizing the space. So we asked them, can you give that? And then we screened these local entrepreneurs, real skill development people, and now we want to do it on a scaled mechanism. So and again, the recruitment, placement, and the responsibility, accountability of the entrepreneur will get much higher when you involve the local political people, regardless of which party. It creates accountability. So therefore, these are all the practical ways how we can, how much ever, as I said earlier, how much ever money we put, how much ever schemes we put it. When you don't understand the local ground realities, none of these will be successful. So in closing, I want to say, I talked about all these schemes, numbers, targets, but something that's more important is, there are challenges at the ground level. There are last mile delivery is hard, funds get delayed. I get it. But, this government, Chouhan ji, Kamlesh ji, myself, secretaries, all of us are here fully committed, supporting you with resources, technology, policy, pilots, whatever you want. Please be here. Yeah, we are not here just sitting here and giving circulars. We are here with you as partners. And, governments may change, ministers may change, but not, many of you will not be the change persons. You are the permanent spine of this republic. So it depends on, they're delivered by you, your judgment, your integrity. So, and many of you didn't come here by an accident, right? Many of you have worked really hard, achieved some of the highest credentials, and came here as part of the government. So, and obviously that all comes with a lot of responsibility, not just administrative, but moral responsibility in my view. So look at, anything that you do, whether it is a file or something, there are people behind you. With all your support, I am pretty sure India will become a Vikasit Bharat by 2047. Thank you once again for all of you.